Awesome. And I know PG, and PG, if that's okay.
Of course,
Mr.
of course.
Pearce Gonzalez sounds a little too formal,
PG's
so
good.
PG. From Shenandoah University. I'm Shenandoah alum, studied
right.
Spanish, and so we went from student
professor relationship to
like
kind
community
of
colleagues.
community advocate. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so proud of you and all
Thanks.
that you do here.
Yeah.
When Brandon left, we those of us in the community like, oh no, what's gonna happen with the rescue mission? He's done so much good work here, and then your name came out as the next executive director, and it was just like, the rescue mission is going to be in good hands. So we're proud of you. I'm proud of you. And I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
When Lauren calls, I pick up the phone and whatever she needs, I'm there.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. And you've done a lot of work, within the community as far as progressing, looking at the needs that the community has. And so in your opinion, what are some of the major needs in the community that you see, and what are some of the best things that you see in the city of Winchester in our community? And maybe that's like a whole Pandora's box, but we could be here for 23.
As far as what we need in terms of the homeless population here, I think are resources like the rescue mission, and we need a lot of empathy. When I was, I just ran for mayor. I wasn't successful in that campaign, but I talked to a lot of people because a lot of people wanted to talk about homelessness and the perceived, rise in the population of the people experiencing homelessness in Winchester. And I really saw the need for a lot of empathy. A lot of people are angry at the homeless. A lot of people are wanting to take punitive measures towards people who are unsheltered and down on their luck, so to speak. And it was really kind of disheartening to me, heartbreaking in many of the conversations I had. So I would just reach out to people and say, hey, nobody chooses on a Wednesday morning. Nobody wakes up and goes, you know what? I'm just going to be homeless from now on. I guess, that's probably the easiest route for me to go. We need resources, particularly mental health resources, particularly, I don't know what you call them, but like bathrooms was a big issue. People were complaining to me, well, these people, that I see, I think they're homeless people and they have to use the bathroom out in public. And I really hate that. And they should be given citations. I'm like, well, where would you like for them to go? Because anyway, it's a whole Pandora's box. So we need more resources. We need more people like you with hearts for these humans that are out there down on their luck and who are just trying to figure out life the way that we're all trying to figure out life. What the city does well is, again, the rescue mission. We have CCAP down the street. We have Watts here. We have a lot of people whose heart is in the right place and trying to serve the needs of this particular very vulnerable population. And it's great, but it creates a catch-22 of the more resources we offer, the more shelters we provide, the more access to different things that the city offers. Well, the word gets out, and then more people who need those resources show up. And so there's this perceived growth in the population of people experiencing homelessness, and then that gets some people in the community all worked up. Well, the homeless population's on the rise, and this and that and this and that. So I don't know and I kept telling everybody this on the campaign trail. If I had the answer, if you had the answer to this particular issue, it would be solved. Nobody would sit on the answer because it's multifaceted. It's really complex and nuanced. Sorry, I'm getting way
no, I love it.
Abstract about this, but and perhaps political about this, but nobody has the answer because there is no one answer. You need so many different facets of the community to come together really and say, all right, we're really going to try to tackle this. And I see little semblances of that happening here in the city of Winchester, and I'm really proud of it, of the different organizations. But we need more. We need stuff like this to bring about awareness. I was just talking in the line. You got a whole line of people showing up now, and we looked at each other. It's like, can you imagine? Like, I'm out here for what, 10, 15, 20 minutes with you doing this? I couldn't imagine being out here for 2, 3, 4 hours, much less 24/7. We need to raise awareness about this, and people's hearts need to buy into to helping us really address the issues of this very vulnerable population. Sorry, I'm very wordy today. Apparently.
No, I love it. I think you hit everything really the nail on the head there. One of my favorite things that you said is, people who are experiencing homelessness. And that's the first thing, is like we use people first language.
Correct.
It's not homeless. It's not drug addicts. It's not bums.
That's right.
It's people who are experiencing homelessness. They didn't necessarily, they did not actually choose this.
No way.
One of my favorite things to do in the community is ask people, when you were a kid, in middle school, and your counselor asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Out of curiosity, what did you want to be? Spanish professor?
In middle school, it was probably something like, I don't know, helicopter, something pretty cool, like a helicopter pilot or something.
Yeah.
No, I found out late in high school that I wanted to teach Spanish. It's part of my heritage, and my grandparents spoke some broken English.
Yeah.
And I know they always struggled to make themselves understood. And I thought, I'm going to go in the other direction. I'm going to teach people who speak English how to speak Spanish instead of those who speak Spanish how to speak English. And so that's kind of how my career fell into place for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love that. Absolutely love that. When I was a kid, I said I wanted to be a cowgirl.
Yeah.
That was there. And then it turned into a veterinarian. And then it turned into kind of like the healthcare, like human health, human medicine kind of
I think
thing.
I had veterinarian in my choice as well at some point.
And I think what's so important in that is that, the individuals that are staying with us, individuals who have ever experienced homelessness, when they were a kid, they never said, none of us said, when I grow up, I want to be homeless.
Nobody.
When I grow up, I want to be poor. When I grow up, I want to be in poverty. I want to struggle to figure out where my next meal is from. And I think that when you bring that down to that really kind of shows the humanity in homelessness. I think we see it as a label, and it's so much more complex to that. There have been a series of events, just like all of us in our own lives. There's been a series of events that happened. You mentioned mental illness, mental health, physical health care, lack of resources, socioeconomic status, education, higher education, things like that. Different barriers that people have faced and either have addressed or not addressed. And I think that has such a factor in that. But when you peel everything back, we all had a dream at some point. When we grew up, we want to be this, right?
And also, I would add to that, social structure is something that doesn't get brought up a lot. And it's something that weighs heavily on me in these recent years is, addiction has touched my family, and homelessness has touched my family. And so I have this kind of sense that the society that we've built, like all of this around us right now, waking up, going to work, getting a paycheck, using that paycheck to pay for shelter and for food, all that in many ways is artificial. If you go back 100, 150, 200 years, society wasn't like that. So it's this modern society that we all live in and we all kind of buy into. We have to start acknowledging we have members of our community for whom this society is not working, and they cannot meet the demands of this society, whether it's mental health or addiction or whatever it is. And so I guess up until 2025, we're having this conversation. So our society kind of discards a lot of these people and says, all right, well, we have no space for you, so go live in the woods in a tent. And I think we really need to start addressing social structure. To
There's
get to these
caste
needs.
System that exists.
And I know I need to get out of here because you got a whole line building up.
Oh, well, I appreciate it so much. Thank
Absolutely.
you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, Lauren.
All right, thanks.